Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Just waiting to get started. All right, let me go on and do this real quick. Share, like, send it to your friends. This is my baby Billy.
How you doing?
Y'all might remember him from an episode before,
From last time. We still rocking.
And we're gonna have another couple join us this evening. So just give us one moment. I'm about to go ahead, get everything locked in so y'all know what's happening tonight. Let's see. So I gotta click. There we go. So what's up, y'all? It's your girl Kamora the Boss. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us this Thursday on Talk That Shit Live. And tonight, y'all, we about to get into talking about relationships. I'm about to find out more about him, and he about to find out more about me. And we're also gonna be we're also going to have another couple join us when they get ready. So as soon as you get ready, I do see her on, and I don't know if she's ready yet. She got to tell me whether she's ready or not. We're going to have Tyrasjah Sings on, Tyrasjah Storm to you guys. You could go ahead and follow her on her page at Tyrasjah on Facebook. Also, she is going to be downloading her music onto iTunes, Apple, Spotify, everywhere you can find music, y'all. She's gonna be on there. So tonight, let me tell y'all what we got going on. All right, she said she's ready. So I do want to first let y'all know y'all have to go to the place where they do it all from wall to wall, and that's going to be Safe Haven Cleaning Company. But for precision, no judgment cleaning, you want to make sure you give Miss Tina a call. Also, if you want to live in your sexiest skin, you have to go to Sexy Chocolate Natural Skincare. You got to check that page out. Make sure you follow, as well as For the People Body Products. You want to check them out because they're going to make you look beautiful from the inside out. And let's go ahead and jump in. And also, guys, guess what? We're a podcast now. Officially a podcast, babe.
Officially a podcast.
Yes. So I am very proud of that. I will be dropping the links to all of this information as well as the podcast information. And tonight we are being brought to you by Pure Romance, if y'all know what that is. And you can, I'm going to put that in the comments as well for our Dominique. Look at you over here. Listen. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump right on in it. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Remember, guys, you can always like, share, or subscribe to me on YouTube to Talk That Shit Live. And you can also, like I said, we a podcast now. So you can check us out on the podcast as well. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Well, hello.
Hello. Can you see us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can see you and hear you.
Okay. How you doing? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
How y'all doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good.
We good over here.
Good.
Where y'all at? See, I didn't even get no one. I had so much to do today.
Yeah, we was running. You were running.
I know. Yeah. Going crazy. So we got some topics that we about to jump into. I wish we could.
I know. Team get all up.
We got some topics that we about to jump into with you guys. And hello, Tracy. How you doing, girl? I know you said you was waiting for this, so get ready, okay? Because if y'all have any questions in the comments, feel free to ask all the questions. But so we're gonna go ahead and jump into it because we got a lot. So it says relationships and social media. So Ty, I call her Ty, y'all. Y'all call her Tyrasjah, okay? Because we friends like that. Y'all can't do all that anyway. I guess this question is for Brian. Brian, how do you feel about social media and being in a relationship at the same time? Like, what are your rules? What are your do's? What are your don'ts, if you have any?
I claim that all social media sites are the devil, especially for relationship. Hey, listen, you want it, you're gonna get it for real. Listen, if you're gonna put yourself out there on social media and you in a relationship,
Right.
You better be prepared for every and anything that's going to come, because it's going to be a lot of bull that you can't stop and will not stop. You have to be prepared for everything, because you're going to have all those females in the inbox saying this, that, and the third. And you have the dudes in the inbox doing this, that, and the third. Some people see conversations in totally different lights. Some people so social media is what you make it. If you're going to set a boundary, you need to learn that that boundary is going to be able to be flexed no matter what, to some degree, either on the positive side or the negative side. So you agree to it, ride with what you agree to.
Yeah, because I feel like you definitely have to have a certain amount of self-confidence and security too in your relationship that you're in to be able to kind of endure some of those obstacles that you will face and being on social media. Because like you said, you're going to get hit at all kinds of different directions, and if you're not emotionally prepared and sound in your relationship, then that can cause some issues. And so the conversation need to be had that even before you go on social media, you need to have a conversation with your partner and go over all the pitfalls that you guys might face going that direction, and see if that's something that you both mutually feel comfortable going down.
Right. So, Tyrasjah, in regards to that question with the social media and you getting this new popularity in regards to your beautiful singing voice, what do you think is something that you were not expecting now that it's growing and growing? And I don't know, for me, I don't like when it's for me, I have a problem when I see like posts and stuff like, ooh, you look so beautiful, and then he sees it, and then I'm like, oh man, I don't know what kind of bag he gonna come out of, but he ain't he ain't came out no bag yet.
Well, because when I do see him, it's not like I don't know that, you know, it's
part of the law.
It's coming. It's coming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you know something's coming, you can prepare for it. And so, you know, if I see it, I'm like, all right, whatever, you know, like, you know, I'll make a joke about it later on when we having a conversation. I was like, yeah, I see so-and-so ask you how you doing. How you doing? You know?
Real talk,
I say,
real
you pretty.
talk.
I know you pretty. I tell you pretty every day, you know, and all that stuff. You know, so, you know, like you said, like I said, as long as you prepare for it, it ain't no big thing.
But
you know,
for real, I don't trip on it because I understand. I mean, why would I be with her if I didn't think that it was bad?
Exactly.
You know?
That's
so
like,
as long as you ain't on no creep stuff, talk about some, hey, let me get your number. I'm gonna meet you at this, that, and the third, and then it's not being entertained on top of that.
Exactly.
Even though, because still gonna be them cats in her inbox talking about some, I got a band for you to just come through and da 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 da.
Right.
It's not being entertained. There's nothing to worry about. I've always stood by this, and I still say it to this day. If you can get her, it's yours. She wasn't mine in the first place.
Facts.
Carry on. So,
no, that's not no fact.
No, because what they saying, if somebody can come and just woo you off your feet with just a couple words, then obviously our bond wasn't that tight to begin with.
I get it, but listen, don't make it seem so cavalier over there, okay? It ain't that cavalier. He like, you know, whatever.
It's not cavalier. It's just you expect a certain level of respect between the relationship.
Right.
So at a certain, you should know what's folly and what's not. So if you can't see them for what they are, and they sit there hitting you up with, oh, babe, you so beautiful. I love your voice, this, that, and the third. And it goes from that to, let me pay you 2 bands to come to motherfucking Texas to chill for a little bit.
Exactly. And so, too, so now that they kind of seen, you know, hear it from the guy's point of view, you know, I've done a couple videos that I was in that I got some attention. So how do you feel, how do the ladies feel if that situation was reversed?
Right.
Go ahead, Ty. You answer, because
there's some double team going on or whatever.
they trying. This supposed to be about the ladies.
That's not about the ladies. It's about the couples.
So we got to answer for the best of our ability. We want a response, though. You got to have a retort for every question.
I definitely do got a response for that. I feel like this. I do understand when he don't, to a certain degree, don't entertain certain stuff, but that goes on both ends. That goes on his as well, because you're gonna have some women. Oh, since they know I'm doing X, Y, and Z, oh, we see her husband. Let's see if we can go get X, Y, Z. So if that goes on both ways.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And I ain't gonna even lie. I
Mhm.
mean, like, oh, that's what you supposed to do. That let me know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Go ahead, look. You can look.
But we both can attest to, Ty, we have Aquarius men. So these Aquarius men, they like for somebody to be like, oh, you look good. They love that. They be eating it up now.
Hold on. No, don't be shedding that light on us. Don't do that.
They enjoy that. They enjoy that attention.
Because I got a lot of similarities.
I mean, who don't like attention?
Right.
You know, women, you guys, you know, as long as your head don't get big and you act on anything, you know, you be all right. You know, I mean, it's always nice to get a compliment, you know, to somebody that says, you know, hey, you know, you look nice today, or you do, you know, as long as you don't get it, as long as you don't, you know,
I'm guaranteeing for every one of mine, there's 20 dudes in yours.
Oh, you already know.
Get that? I ain't even talking about 10. I'm talking about just every one female that'll inbox me. I know there's 20 dudes that's doing the exact same thing to her. Why? Because it's always considered that the man is the ones being the thirst boxes.
Yeah. But you'd be surprised though nowadays. You'd be surprised nowadays because you know, I didn't think when she showed me a video of another guy who does thirst trap videos and how much attention that he was getting and how much money that he was making off of his thirst trap videos, just folding clothes and eating Oreos and stuff. I'm like, and she like, babe.
And let me know what I need to do. Because I don't even have to set the trap. I just have to just go outside, walk for a couple of minutes. It's going to happen, man. Listen.
Look at Ty like,
they out, so yeah.
Because
I don't know, like the roles might be switching. I think the women might be even worse than the men nowadays.
Now? Yeah. Now?
What you was about to say, Ty?
I said, remember we discussed that about him walking outside, no shirt on. That's what he does all summer long.
See, that's a no. We can't walk outside with no shirt on or no white beaters. Like arms and everything hanging out. You might as well put on some booty shorts.
I'm sorry, my booty ain't that big.
What they call them? The
hoochie daddy
shorts.
Daddy.
No.
Pants at certain
So
times.
who in the comments is letting their men go outside wearing hoochie daddy shorts? Period. Because no.
I
mean, I've been to see
nothing. I can't wear no hoochie daddy shorts.
Why you can't wear no hoochie daddy shorts?
I don't want to wear no hoochie daddy shorts.
I know you don't.
All huggers. I mean,
my boys gotta breathe. I'm sorry.
Why would you want to suffocate your mans? I was like,
Same reason why you wear. Why you wearing stretch pants? No. Stop.
I didn't say. I said you said something about your jogging pants. I don't want to talk about jogging pants. I'm talking about the hoochie daddy shorts.
No, the jogging pants too, though. Cause listen, you still gotta listen. You need to put a longer shirt on. Put you on a longer shirt if you.
Okay, well, get you a looser pair of stretch pants.
We can't help it. We got big. Some of us got butts. It don't matter how big the strip.
Right. I wear a long shirt.
Regular person do. So I can't wear gray pants because I got a bigger boom than the rest of the people.
No, you need to fix yourself and arrange it so it ain't out there.
Oh, okay. Then you can't
arrange yourself so they can't see what I got going on over here.
I think we're straying off topic a little bit. I think we need to refocus on what we're here for. Let's go. What's the next topic? Gender roles in a relationship.
So who is the boss?
Okay.
Temporarily. I mean,
who is the boss?
Now, is that by design or is that something that just kind of organically happened? You guys like had that conversation and say, okay, this is the role I want you to play. This is the role you go, or it's just kind of like you guys like woke up one day like that.
It was just the role that, as me, and I'm not trying to speak for nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. I'm only speaking for me and how I've transacted in this whole situation. I came into a situation where it was already above a situation where I was going to have to fight to make it happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? That whole aspect, I had to fight as well as change myself to make sure that I fit the picture that was supposed to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So as it came to be, or how it is at this time, it was just a transition. You know what I'm saying? You move as the water moves, flow like the water, let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You just fit yourself where you're supposed to be, and then once that water mark don't work no more, you make a new watermark. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Is that the Aquarius way of things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep throwing that out
Yeah,
there.
because that we are the water barriers. So.
And way of thinking of things. Forget
Yeah.
the grown man way of thinking of things. If you
Got
can't
that.
take into the fact of what you're doing, then you wasn't ready for what you were doing in the first place. Step back.
Right.
Right.
Right. So what you say, Tyrasjah? Because you ain't say nothing when
Right.
when we asked. You just was like, let me
Because
see what he gonna say.
what he was gonna say. And I feel like the reason I might title by being the boss is because before he came into the equation, it was just me. I was playing mommy role and daddy role, so it was kind of hard when we started dating to be able to let somebody help me. Like, I'm so used to, I don't need you, I can do this by myself. So it's like I'm still used to being the boss of, because that's what I had going on. That's what I would like.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we done been together for about 8 years and we've been married, I'm trying to let go of them reins, and I'm trying to share that role. So it ain't just me trying to share, learn how to. You see him behind here making his face.
I'm listening.
No, sir.
I'm sorry.
I can see you with the camera. You was making a face.
Stop looking at us. You supposed to be watching them. You have
No,
a conversation
sir.
with them, not
Anyway,
me.
I'm trying to let go of the reins so I can share, so it can be evenly balanced. So I don't feel like but like I said, it was hard.
Yeah.
I understand that, because the same thing with us is like, for the longest, of course, I have a 16-year-old son and I got a 12-year-old daughter. So of course, for me, it was pretty much the same thing. Like, I'm doing everything. Like, my car, something happened to my car, I gotta figure that out. The only thing I probably don't do is change my oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had that. Yeah.
Yes. But I figure, like, I pump my own gas, I do all of this. So it is like me being more control of everything that I have going on. And it do get hard for us as women, as Black women, as single mothers, all three categories, whichever one you fall into, to give up that kind of control at the same time and trust somebody else is going to do it how you do it, or do it right, to where they can maybe improve on what you're doing. It's not easy thing. Right. It's hard to find a man that you feel like you can do that with.
Right. And I feel like it's with women, they need to, before they could relinquish that control, they need to be able to trust that the person that they're relinquishing that control to can take the reins and handle it, and so that they don't end up suffering for being vulnerable. Because when you release that trust, you're kind of exposed at some point.
Yeah.
And so being able to trust the person that you're with, that they're not going to just screw you over and just mess up everything that you got going on, and not not take care of the bills and not take care of the responsibilities that you've taken on your whole life without having any support. Now you bring somebody else on board. Now y'all have to share those responsibilities, or you have to give up some of those things that you were accustomed to doing to somebody else. Mm-hmm. That does it requires a large amount of trust in that person to be able to do that. If I say, babe, I've been paying my bills the entire time, so now we're going to split up our responsibilities, and I want you to take care of it. And now I got to make sure that my lights don't get cut off. Because you're going to make paying the bill. Or I get, her, she's been handling her car situation, and now she has a man that can come in and help with that. Now she's got to trust that, every 3 to 6 months, or every 3,000 miles, that I'm gonna go take the car and get the oil change, and do I have to and trust that the engine block don't lock up when she's going to get groceries. So that has a big part of that gender situation is having that trust level. That trust factor is a big thing, and it's not something that is given. It's something that is earned through the process of you guys being in a relationship.
Right. I want to hear what Brian got to say, because he over there.
Hey, listen. I try to that I don't say nothing while somebody else is talking. That's a big problem that I have. I like them put my point at, so I'll just put my hand over my mouth and then I'll hold on, make sure I keep that thought. So I'm not.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Up there be like, yo,
He said that's what's up because he like she could do that.
Because of this, that, and the third. It's just me making sure that I keep it in mind of what I want to speak and everything afterwards. So
all right now.
I have no interjections or nothing like that. I'm just sitting here chilling. Y'all enjoy yourself. This Taylor Port's fucking my head up, but y'all.
That's what we should have. I wasn't Taylor Port. That's exactly what I wanted. But
Man,
I
will not be ashamed that I got her turned out on this. Man, listen.
Look, I had some for my birthday, and he was like, "You know, that's a dessert wine, right?" And I'm like, no.
You know what? Guess what kind of dessert I'm trying to have?
A pure romance, y'all. Pure. Don't shake your hand because it's later on. It's gonna be yes, yes, yes. But wait a minute, we still got more questions. We still got more topics, so we don't even know. We don't know.
Yeah, we gonna have to do the warning XXX. Yeah,
right. Because
yeah.
He will get there.
All right, baby, go ahead. What's next?
Okay, so the next topic is romantic holidays. So who are they for? And who takes the lead on romantic holidays, the man or the woman?
Now, this is a big one, I think.
Yeah, please. Can the ladies please start with this one? Because I really,
I feel okay.
Tyrasjah, go ahead and start it off.
Down across the where the people got confused at. Swedish Day is for men. I don't know. Women are like, oh, it's for to appreciate the men in our lives. That's for men. We have our days too, but we need to still appreciate. It ain't all about us. I mean, I think all women think, well, no, Swedish Day's for me. No, it's not. It's for the men.
Yeah. I'm curious about what some of the viewers are saying about what some of these roles are.
So Tracy is saying they are for both, and either one can take the lead. It says, how long have both couples been together? So I don't know. I don't keep track of how long me and him been together. I just been happy the whole time.
It's not hard to figure it out. We've been running hard, known for 8 years, married for 2.5, going on 3, February the 20th.
That's what's up. And me, I have issues with time, so I try not to keep track. He knows exactly how long we've been together, but I don't.
But we the ones that don't know what we doing though. We always the ones that's forgetting dates and everything.
Yes, in this situation, it's totally flip flop.
Yeah,
like, I don't know
because I work in I'm more like business minded. So I handle everything in my life as a numbers game. And so like I know that I'm not good with dates and stuff like that. I put it in my phone. And I'll put notifications and alerts and stuff like that. So I make sure that if a sporting date come up, I know a day ahead because I got a day ahead notification.
So
he cheated. Because he picked our wedding date, which is 4 days before my birthday, so he can make sure he ain't gonna never forget that.
Hey, but that's thinking ahead though.
I was like, yeah,
ahead because what he did was he knew that was something that was important to you, and so that he scheduled it so that it would automatically stick in his hand, so y'all wouldn't later on down the line have an issue about him forgetting that date. That's smart.
And see, for me, if you already know, you done asked me that question, Tyrasjah. You said, how long y'all been together? I'm like,
yeah, you.
I'm smiling today. I was smiling yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that. That's all I know.
And that's important. That's really what's important.
Yeah, that's all I know. I don't know.
You know how many of those days? How many days were you smiling?
Everyone.
That's what I'm talking about.
Someone. I picked the wedding day. I'm so serious. And the only reason why, like she said, is to make sure that I didn't forget.
Right.
Yeah.
That I know I'm never going to forget it. I don't know who all know me, who's watching this right now. Hello, everybody, wherever you are, wherever you from. Hello. I picked it because I'm a hood nigga. I can remember the 22.
Yeah. And you know what?
So 2/20/22.
Yeah.
Boom. All 22. I mean, hey,
Yeah, never
220.
forget. I ain't gonna forget that.
Yeah, me neither. And you know what? He just probably helped out like who
Everybody.
Like, that's the guys who are like, oh, you know what?
If
Man,
you a hood,
I'm gonna do the
if
same
you a
thing.
hood, set it for the price that you selling for. If you a businessman, set it for the price that you know that the stock market gonna go up or that your brand is worth for. Set it for that. So make sure when you getting something that you know is always gonna come around that you definitely gonna remember, set it for that. That's
Wow.
even though it's gonna look like you really put a lot of thought into it and a lot of more consideration, even though you really did, you really didn't, because it's something that you
Hear this?
crammed in mind.
Y'all hear this, ladies? Listen, look, I can't even say nothing because if we have an anniversary, I'm gonna forget when it is. I don't know.
I got it written down.
Yeah, he gonna have to tell me.
I'll send you a text.
Yeah.
Like a week, like, hey, you know, on this one, April 15th, we got something going on.
But it is.
I would need to know. So Tracy said she been with her man for almost 20 long years. Did you say, hold on, almost 20 years? She ain't say 20 long years, so they must have been good years.
And that's to be commended. That's to be commended because
long years,
longevity.
Fought for. When they say long years, I learned that from an old head at my job. Whenever they say long years, that means during them years, it was a long fight to make it to the other end of that year.
Right.
That's what long years mean. So it wasn't happy, but it was.
Yeah, she ain't say long years.
Yeah.
So question, okay, there go a question right there, because I know this is not on script, but what do y'all think? Because I have my opinion of what I think, but what do y'all think is the reason why relationships used to last longer than they do now?
There wasn't no social media.
Listen, I had so many people say that's what it was. There was no social media.
Think about,
and I think people looked at divorce as a bad thing. They wasn't embarrassed to be like, oh, I got a divorce.
I think like morals was different.
I don't want anybody doing it before, so I'm gonna stick it out. And the key, and people do it for kids. So
yeah,
right.
And that was another thing too, when because back then, like the man was the sole breadwinner, and so the woman kind of depended on the man for everything, and so that those relationships kind of last because there wasn't really too many other options. If they were in a bad relationship, the alternative was what? Be homeless. So,
and see, for me, I feel the exact same reason. I feel like, for one, this is not 1945 no more, where women don't have a voice without a man. I feel like, what is it? Therapy. What people are going to go get therapy, and they realize that they don't have to stay in toxicity and keep letting you abuse them, whether it be emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually. They realize they don't have to go through that shit no more. So they like, all right, I ain't got to do this no more. I can go and get my own job, make my own money, do whatever. So that's why it's not lasting as long as it do.
Let's ask, how far back are you talking about? So,
just period. I mean, if we was to go all the way back to the horse and buggy days, women was actually dying without having a husband because they needed to be spoken for by a man. Right. When you go to the 40s, women were just starting to hop on the scene in regards to having employment. So there you go. And then when you go to even to the 80s and 90s, in that time right there, it was like having a man was just getting to the point where it was like okay for you to be a woman and not have a man. It was like just now becoming popular to be single when and be okay.
Feminism was coming more out, was being more a thing, more prominent, when you had a lot of women that were, going into the workforce and making money somewhat equal to, because it's still not equal to what man, and I think that's a travesty, is that
you see that, Ty?
That women were making good money, and so they were able to be more independent. And so with being more independent, they felt like they didn't have to put up with less stuff.
Hell yeah.
At the same time, with that kind of stay on topic, but do you think because of feminism, because women has made like bounds forward, do you think that hurt relationships?
I don't know, because I feel when you say hurt relationships because of the fact that feminism, I feel like the fact that a woman has found her power and is able to be, you know, independent and say what's on her mind and have free sexuality should not have anything to do with a relationship.
Do you think that makes that woman more quick to opt out?
No, I feel like it's the fact that it's now equal opportunity, because I feel like that's what we're talking about. The fact that it's now equal opportunity doesn't make women opt out. The fact that, I mean, you have that choice, because back in the same independence and everything that women have now, men have always had. So, and there still have been relationships. So I don't think that now, because women are more independent and have their choice to be able to move around how they want to, that's necessarily stopping them from being in relationships. I feel like how easy it is, how I feel like the value of men and how men have self-worth and their self-value is at an all-time low. So it's pretty much easy. Like, you know, you could take him, you could leave him, you ain't even gotta do much of nothing. He ain't gotta, you know. You can just do what you want to do with him and throw him away when you get done. I'm sorry to say that.
I agree with that question. I love that question, because with the whole equal rights thing coming on, and it's always been equal to an extent. You know what I'm saying? It's just become, the line has gotten a lot more blurred than it originally was once the women's right movement came along and everything went, and that's when we were still babies. Well, when I was still babies or whatever, when it started really starting to hit harder.
Right.
Now that it's gotten to a point where women are so, we're easily transitioning from being the single mom at home doing what she needs to do to take care of the family or whatever, and not being looked at as whatever it is you want to look at the person as, because they're not following along the guidelines of a quote unquote normal female taking care of children or families by themselves. Now that they have the right or the ability or the access, if you will, to do whatever they want to do, just like a man always has had. Now that they've gotten that, now that y'all have gotten that ability to do that without having so much judgment or, you know what I'm saying, stigma put on your face as that, you know what I'm saying? Just like we did. Once we got the right to do what we wanted to do, when we wanted to do it, how we wanted to do it, where we wanted to do it, who we wanted to do it with, that's when guys went all out. Get it? I'm okay. I got this side dish. I got that side dish. I got this one. I got that. Blah, 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 blah. But that was looked at as, oh, okay, well, he pimping. Blah, blah, blah. But when the woman was doing it at that time, they was looked at as, that's a hoe. That's a slut. She the whole neighborhood tramp, whatever, whatever, whatever. But now that those people that was in that same light or in that same instance comes to this type of time, you know what I'm saying? Just like I said, before and after social media. So after social media, now it's not looked at like that. It's looked like, okay, well, she's doing the same thing that he does. So it's not
good for the goose, it's good for the gander type stuff.
Exactly.
I don't necessarily agree with that, though.
No, look at Lotto. Look at Nicki Minaj.
But you're naming people. You're naming people who behind closed doors are in committed relationships and not actually doing this. These are things that they're feeding to the masses or to their Barbies or to their sons, as I would call them. So I feel like the reason why I don't necessarily agree is because of the fact that, I'm just going to say this as a woman, if you want to mess around and you want to act like a man, you're going to end up with bitch problems, because a female can get pregnant. A man can't. And look, I thought I was cute.
But see, what she was saying about, that's a whole nother topic, because we can go down a whole nother rabbit hole with that, because that's what, like she said, all those people that you said, they are in committed relationship, and so why are they pushing this agenda out here to the masses when they ain't even living what they talking about? So it's an agenda that they're pushing.
Right.
And why then we got to say that rabbit hole, we can go down rabbit hole.
Right.
We can go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know, we can go we
So
can go Kanye that way. Go Kanye that way.
Yeah, we don't want to go Kanye, not
go
yet.
Kanye that way.
Kanye was telling the truth, y'all. Anyway.
We are.
What do you say? Okay, so I'm in the comments right now. Okay, and Samantha O'Brien Lee Lewis, hi mom, says it offends me to assume that I need a man to take care of me. So that's one thing that I feel like a lot of women have that, and I feel like just because of with me in regards to that, I feel like at one point in time when I was younger, and I had my firstborn son, I was actually still in a relationship with my son's father. And because I thought I had always had that understanding that I'm from a lot of strong Black women, so it was weird for me to be in the same household with my baby daddy, even though that's a family unit. But because I hadn't grew up seeing that, to me it was weird that like I actually called my dad like that, like how come I feel so weird with my baby daddy and me living together? I feel like we ain't supposed to be together. He's supposed to be living down the street somewhere. And he told me like, that's because I was not living in the home because you feel comfortable with that. And I feel like going back to what you were saying, Brian, like, I feel like that's what a lot of us women grew up with in our homes is seeing our moms be single, strong Black women in the 90s that was handling their business, doing everything on their own, struggling, having hard times and this and that. So when they was going through that, we learned as women, we learned from that. We learned how their mechanisms, like, like our next topic, disciplining the kids, how when we sit there and we discipline the kids, we got to yell and cuss because the women that we come from, they yelled and cussed at us. So they MF and this and sit your down that and da-da-da-da-da. So me being a single mom, I'm going to do that because that's how it was done, and that's how my aunts did it. That's how my mama did it. That's how my friends do it. That's how this person do it. Every woman that I'm around, especially the old heads. So let's talk about that in regards to the disciplining of the children. When it comes to disciplining the kids, because he has kids and I have kids. And I know that you guys have kids as well, or I'll let y'all explain, but how do y'all take on the discipline of the kids?
Well, like saying about, see now when my parents are deaf, so my parents didn't do the cussing and fussing because they deaf, they sign. But what I noticed with me and my parents and with my kids, I couldn't be like, hey, sit down, Vasir. Hey, don't do that. I had to. It's only way it's my kids register for them to know I wasn't playing. I had to cuss like, hey, sit your ass down. Mm-hmm. She's serious. But when I'm like, don't do that. It's like they thought I was playing. So
right.
I play my kids with that type of cussing at them. But he'd be like, sit down. I'm like, did they just really just sit down because he's young?
Right.
I be trying to sound like that, but my kids be terrified of him. They be like, oh yeah, Brian walk in the room, like, oh yeah. Everybody stop doing what they doing, looking at him. Like, what happened? They was like, well, he about to whoop us. Like, wait a minute. I just told y'all not to do that before he got here. Right. Oh, now y'all scared? So yeah, I don't understand why I have to do that, but that's what I have to do with my kids. I have to cuss.
This is what I have come to the point of thinking, and I don't know if this is true. I guess y'all can tell me whether this is true. But being a single mom, for me, like me having my kids, it's the same thing. Like I could be like, y'all go clean up your room, clean this room up. And they'll be like, all right, mom. And then I walk out, I come back, they still doing the same thing. But if I say, clean this room up right now, then they getting up because they like, she's serious. So I feel like it's that, like, if I step into my masculine, when I'm in my feminine, it's like, oh, she's nurturing, she's loving, she loves us, she's not going to do anything, But when I step into my masculine, that's when they know, like, she mean business. He ain't got to step in no masculine. He masculine all day. He just masculine. So they just do what he's telling them to do with no problems.
Right.
No questions.
Right. And it's the consistency, too, because making sure that's one thing that I'm big on is if I give out a punishment, it ain't no parole. You don't get time served.
No.
You serving 100% of that punishment. And having these discussions, I believe in having discussions with your kids about their punishments too. letting them know kind of like what they
did
did wrong.
Right.
I tell my kids all the time, I don't punish my kids. I said, you punish yourself.
Exactly.
I said, so because you know what my expectations are. You've been
with all this, man, because you saying a lot of the stuff that I done said about like 20 billion times already. Because it's just like
it's hard for us. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah, because they want to be nurturers. It's in their DNA. So, but what you have to remember is you're not doing them because you're teaching them patterns. Everything is a teachable moment. And life, you develop habits. And if you feel like every time you get in trouble, you get a slap on the wrist or you get yelled at, you face it, you get like a heavy dose of in your face, and then like 2 days later it's over. No, you have to understand, because if you break the law and you get sentenced, you're gonna do all of that. You're gonna do all of that.
Plus more.
Right. You're gonna do all of that, and don't mess up while you in there, because they're gonna tack on more. So
okay, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
No, so
I just got.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay, I'm sorry, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got a comment from April. April Avery says, I will never cuss at my son. I don't use words on him that I wouldn't want used on me. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Whoopings really don't work. It just makes him more aggressive. But that game and them electronics,
boy,
ain't it, girl? She said, baby, when I take that game and that tablet away for a week or a month, he folds. Look, I had to throw one out the window before, so I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yes.
My daughter just had to serve a week's punishment without her phone, laptop, all of that. And she's coming over, and she's like, can she have? No, she cannot have her phone back.
Like, oh, baby, look, she cleaning. She's doing good. She done been all right for the past couple of days. It's been 2 days, and she ain't said nothing about it.
No.
You just got her put where she can't get this phone.
Yeah.
So you see what's happening because she's already in the midst of the disciplinary stage.
Right.
You just happen to have the disciplinary stage put onto her. So, you getting the second sight. You getting the good kid while they're being punished.
Yeah.
So you get the face, but it is what it is.
Maybe that's what it is, because when they getting punished, my kids, they be on point. They be cleaning. They'll go clean something. They'll be done did all this. Like, Mom. And see, my kids is like lawyers, so they'll come to me like, Mom, lately I've been getting good grades. I cleaned my room. I've done my chore without you asking me. Don't you think I deserve a break? And then I'll be like, damn, they right. Okay, I'll give you a break.
See, that's you don't give them a chance to talk their way out, because these kids nowadays, they got access to all kinds of stuff. They learn how to be slick talks and all that good stuff.
Yes.
You get talked out of your drawers and you wouldn't even know it. Mama, look.
Right.
No. I just want to see what color the leaves are now. I haven't been outside for 3 days, so you don't need leaves color.
But you're right. You haven't. Let me, you can look out the window. Hold on. Come in my room.
Don't
you
even
can lay in my bed while you look out the window. Right. I know, Mom, because my mom used to say I was a lawyer. Whenever I used to get in trouble, I used to try to explain my way out of it. And my kids are grade A at explaining their way out of trouble.
Right. And
honest.
And then so.
But it never worked for me. It never worked. My mom wasn't on that.
Yeah. So when we talk about, we still live in separate households at this point. Mm-hmm. But when we talk about when we get to that point, how would it look for us now, having to, discipline our kids as, one group versus two separate groups. Mm-hmm. How would that look for us? And what you say?
I say that basically he gonna be the disciplinarian. I'm just going, because I feel like, so this is one thing that I feel like needs to be said, because a lot of times I meet women, or I feel like a lot of Black women that I know, they feel like they don't want a man to, or like a man from outside who's not their kid's father, to discipline their kids. Me, I say don't get in a relationship with no man who you don't trust enough to discipline your kids. Because if I'm not around and you see my son doing some bull stuff, I need you to check him. If I'm not around and you see my daughter doing some bull stuff, I'm gonna need you to check him, and check her. And then at the same time, you know, kids think they can get away with stuff when you not around, so they might try it. Like my daughter, she's slick, and she might try some stuff on him. So I do want him to be able to look her in the eye and be like, little girl.
Right.
So he gonna be the bad guy.
And we have the advantage because my kids live with me. I have my kids full time. So she can also see how I interact with my kids, how I discipline my kids firsthand, because they're always here. Right. So she can see, she uses that information too to kind of make herself feel comfortable enough to allow when that happens for me to come into the discipline and to, you know, be that that kind of role model for them.
What y'all think about that?
Well, what I think about that is, well, my kid's father is currently incarcerated, and I feel like it takes a man to raise a man. I could try, I could do as much as I can possibly explain to my child, but him coming in, it's been the best thing. My sons, you know, they got their little issues, but my 14-year-old, it's like bumping heads, but he'll listen to him quicker than he'll listen to me, and they be like. So I be telling my husband, why don't you go talk to me? He be like, well, no, you go talk. Like, he ain't gonna listen to me. When I'm saying that register to him, I think he think, because I'm a woman, I don't know what I'm talking about. But when he talk to him, he be like, yeah, Mom, he cool. I mean, him talking. I'm like, well, no, excuse me. But it's awful stuff. I like it when he disciplines my kids. I like that because they gotta know that they can't be like, oh, well, you ain't our dad, so you can't tell us what to do. Nah, not over here. He got all access to them, and they all listen to him, and they be like, it's I like it. I feel like if you can't get in a relationship with somebody you trust and discipline your kids, then maybe you don't even be in a relationship with that person.
That right there.
That's right there. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, because I definitely feel like when you get to the point and you feel like, no, I don't want him talking to my kids like that or this and that, then you don't trust him enough to be around them.
Mm-hmm. Now, trust them, they don't. It's got to be a reason why. And like I always say, my phrase that pays is, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
And what do you have to say about your part, Brian?
Like, honestly, when coming into the situation as it was, I don't know. I was raised different. You know what I'm saying? I'm 1980s baby, not an 80s baby. 1980 itself was when I was old. That shows my age, whatever. I didn't have a father in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I go off of what I learned to become the man that I am now. And the only thing that I can do with that little bit of information or little bit of, you know what I'm saying, knowledge I gained from my pathway to where I am now, and trust me, you can ask my mother. She's a Dayton native. You will never find nobody that says they don't know her name. Ask her about her baby and ask what type of stuff he was on. And for him to be who he is now, you would not believe it. I promise you. Half the stuff she still can't even believe. So it's kind of hard to try to come in and assert yourself when there's already been a bond made between the mother and said child, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Point. If you're not ready to actually take on fully the responsibility that you're putting yourself in line for, because as you said, you're becoming the father. You're not no longer, I'm not your daddy. I promise you, I'm none of your mom. I didn't lay you down. Oops, this is my new son. You know, you were brought into the equation after the fact. So mother, then I met you. So to try to assert yourself and make yourself the father or their daddy or whatever, that's the thing you got to always separate. Daddy and father. There's two different things. So I don't mean to go off topic a little bit, but I just need this point to be made, because you will never hear me say this is my baby mama. You will never hear her say that I'm her baby daddy. Those are the most derogatory terms that The only one that I feel is more derogatory than baby daddy and baby mama is nigger. That's the only more derogatory term that anybody outside of our race can call you.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's funny that our race is the only race that use that term. For the majority, baby mama, baby daddy.
But see, for me, I feel like initially when I first had my kids, I didn't call their fathers baby daddy. They was my kids' father, but they put themselves on that pole and they was like boom, and got knocked down to baby daddy.
They dropped off.
I understand that, but I'm sorry, I went too far off of the point. But yes, with the whole situation of trying to be either the disciplinarian or the conversationalist, whichever one you want to call it, you know, you have to be able to make sure that the parent of that child is prepared to accept the same punishment that they would have, because if it wasn't for me and her kids together, there more than likely wouldn't have been a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I don't love my wife to death, love her to death. You know what I'm saying? There's a relationship because of what we had in love. If it wouldn't have been for our kids, it probably wouldn't have been the same love and respect for each other as it is right now. So she has to accept my thought process, just like I have to accept hers with our children together. But her children outside of me, she has full control. I do not try to make anything happen, anything like that. If you want me to do this, okay. As the father, I'll go up there and take care of it this way, that, and that. If you don't like it, let me know. We'll amend it to make it happen where you want it to happen at. Outside, I'm only a tool of what she needs me to be. Or what?
Oh, what do you think about that? Because I don't. But in my head is just different because of the fact that I feel like the control, like when his kids turn to my kids and my kids turn his kids, and I don't want no separation. Like I don't want like since me and you got this kid together, he gonna get his ass whooped, but your kid, I don't know what you want me to do with him, so I'm gonna let him sit over there. No, whoop both their ass.
Right.
He does.
They both need to get in trouble.
For you, he does. He disciplines my son. He disciplines my kids like he disciplines his own.
Right. That's what I want.
But difference though, my kids are 7 and 4. Next step,
so it's gonna be a different, because she got teenage boys.
So
she got some teenagers over there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be different.
it's different dynamics.
Right. Because you can't discipline them.
Yeah, you can't discipline a 7-year-old like you discipline a 14-year-old.
Right.
I'm gonna get the 7-year-old real quick, like, "Pow, you done?"
And the 14-year-old, you gotta take a little different approach.
Right.
You gotta do a lot more counseling with the 14-year-old.
Yes,
that makes sense.
We just had yesterday.
After we get done, I'm coming over there. Y'all giving me that nigga number because he just.
So look, we got a comment. We got a comment from DJ Rome. How you doing? What's up? It says blended families are always challenging, especially when both parties are raised differently. It could create issues if both are not on the same page, because kids will feed off it. Yes. And try to use it to their advantage. That is true.
Yeah. So those are conversations before you move to a stage where you guys are cohabitating. You need to have before you move in, because kids will definitely sense that there's some separation between you guys when it comes to anything. They'll take anything that they can see to use to their advantage. They will.
Exactly.
And
that's something that needs to be already solidified before you even consider cohabitating.
And that's the truth, because sometimes you could be put in a situation where you coming from the outside, coming in, you think like, oh my God, he's being so hard on him, or he's being so hard on her, but he know. He know why he being hurt. So you do got to pay attention to that. And for me, I don't know about you, Ty, but I don't know. I think your daughters are not his. Like his kids are younger that you have with him, right?
We have a boy and a girl together.
Right.
Boy and my 4-year-old is the girl. But my daughter, when we first got together,
yes.
Oh my.
And that's what I feel like is not necessarily a challenge, but that's something that I feel like is a worry for me as a female coming into a household that already has women in it. That's not necessarily like the woman of the house, but technically the woman of the house, because my son is considered the man of my house, and him coming in makes a different dynamic. So me coming into a house that already have women and trying to establish my place there is like, that can be challenging. I haven't had any challenges because his daughters are amazing, but
and Mari is amazing.
When you get sat down by a 12-year-old, like, look.
Oh yeah. First got together,
what's your intentions with my mom?
My son was 12. I
know that's right.
I'm a grown man looking at a 12-year-old, and he got the face on like, if you play with me, I'm gonna lean right in. And I'm like, for real? But that's just to go in line with, he was the man of the house. He was taking that role.
But he asked me the first, because I had a little situation, which I'm not ashamed to say. Back in 2000, I want to say 12, 13, my daughter got suffocated. She got rolled over by her sister at the time. And Children's Services took all my kids. It was 5 of them at the time. They took all my kids. They took all them. Yeah, so when I got with him, I wasn't myself.
What did I say?
So I wasn't myself or whatever the case may be, and I ended up getting pregnant while my kids was in the system. So I called myself having this. But my kids was like my best friends, you know, because it was just me and the kids. So I told my mom, can I have a conversation with him? I said, you 12, what you gonna say? He like, don't worry about it, Mom. Just can I have a conversation? Because at the end of the day, you my mom, and I know what you're capable of, and I know what you can do. I just want to have a conversation with him. So I was like, first I was hesitant, but then the conversation he had, it was like, my son wasn't no regular 12-year-old. He was talking to him like they was, if you heard the conversation between these two, you would have thought it was 2 grown men in the room. It was like,
like, try to see if you want to.
He's 20 years old now, and he still thinks he's somebody's daddy, and it's awesome to watch him grow. But yeah.
After that conversation, what did I say?
I don't even remember. What did he say?
I said, what did I say?
I don't remember. So I said, what did you say? I don't remember what you said.
What?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna get your kids back.
Oh yeah, he did say that. After my 12-year-old had the conversation when he like, I'm gonna get your kids back. And I had a tough judge. Oh, she was a tough cookie. That lady, she looked like she about 4'11". The lady never smiled. She never did any of that.
He had a judge, Judy.
Yeah, I did. He takes the stand. I've never seen this lady laugh so hard. She smiled. It's like everybody, my lawyer was like, is she flirting with your baby? Is she flirting with him? I said, I think he had somebody in the courtroom. I mean, and like and that goes to saying what he was saying, the trust issue. Like we don't want to be dealing with people when we can't trust. Like, so when he was like, I got you, I'm like, yeah, I done heard that 5 other times. I don't trust nobody but myself. He's like, I got you, but his word, he helped me get my kids back. He did help me get my babies back. And it's like, wow, so yeah, and that was, I got him back 2017.
Congratulations. I see him moving around there.
That was a struggle. Woo.
Girl, I couldn't even imagine, but I'm so happy that you got him back, and the person that you done turned into since you have had him back too. Because you know, the person who you used to be, I heard about him, but I ain't never seen her, y'all. I ain't never seen her.
My whole mindset and how I carried myself and how I conducted myself, it was a whole transformation. I was like, I don't ever want nobody to be like, oh, you look at your background, like, oh yeah, we just gonna push this button, that button, this button, that button. And I was like, now it take a lot to even get me. So it's like, it was a learning experience, but God does everything for a reason. So it was like, maybe I wasn't doing what he wanted to do. So he was like, oh, I got to call for you. So I was like, yeah.
Right. So that kind of leads us into one of our other topics when it comes to the trauma of dealing with your partner's trauma. Not necessarily your own personal trauma, because yes, you do want to deal with your own personal trauma, but in regards to dealing with your partner's trauma and the things that they go through. Like in regards to you guys, the situation, how you said when you first met him, you was just like, no, it's not happening. We ain't doing this. I got too much other shit going on in my life. And he was able to kind of like push through that wall. Do you feel like I had a wall?
I feel like you have a wall, per se.
I'm away from this topic right now. I'm just going.
But, you know, like I said, we had when we first met, we had a couple things. I wouldn't say trauma, but we had like a lot going on.
Yeah.
In our lives. Like my daughter, my 19-year-old daughter was pregnant. She was just moving back in the home with me from moving back from Florida. You had your niece was living with you,
right, at the time,
and so there was some challenges dealing with that situation, and so we had a couple of things that kind of kept us kind of like preoccupied on, so we couldn't like give 100% of our focus on trying to make a relationship at that point.
Right. Which was good because I wasn't ready. I feel like I do still have certain traumas in regards to the fact that I don't keep time of our relationship. I don't like, I'm in the relationship and I feel it and it's lovely and it's wonderful, but it's almost like so good that it's like surreal.
It's good to be true.
like wow, this is happening to me.
You're a bubble person. I'm sorry. That's what you're, a bubble person. You one of them people that just wait for the bubble to bust. You happy in the moment. You happy in the moment. You just know at the end of the party it's gonna be something stupid that's gonna happen. You just wait.
But see, the thing is for me, it's not like that is what my mind would normally go to, and I have a history, a pattern of self-sabotage. But in this particular situation, it was so easy, so free, so comfortable to go into that I didn't feel afraid. It was not I didn't feel like there was no red flags that I felt. There was like no anxiety in regards to making me tiptoe into it and then back up real quick and feel like, oh, I'm about to test him on this or test him on that. I haven't felt that need at all. So I know that I have previous traumas that I don't see them working in this relationship.
And I think a lot of that too is because when we entered in our relationship, when we decided to be a couple, you know, I took the initiative. You're like, okay, yeah, no, we're a couple now. And then from that point, it's been. It's like, yeah, okay, like, you know, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the type of dude that if I want something, I'm not gonna tiptoe around it. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. And either we gonna be down with it, or we ain't. And so she was down with it. And so, and at that point, it's been nothing but consistency that I've shown her to allow, even though that she had some of those reservations, my consistency has kind of let her know that even though she may have some trauma, that's not going to be the case with us, is that I'm gonna stay. And I know we had the conversation. That's one of the conversations. I think communication is one of the keys when you dealing with a partner with maybe some issues, so that you know going in this is something that you're gonna be willing to accept, and it's you're gonna be taking on these challenges. So you be perfectly honest and clear up front, saying this is something I struggle with. You know, I can at that point I appreciated that, because that's something that I can take upon myself and say, this is what do I want to you know, take this on? Is it too much for me, and or not? And I don't think you felt like it was too much for me. And you know, when I decided that it's not, and I feel like that it's something that I want to put my all into, I'm gonna give you my all at 100% of the time. Okay. And until you heard it. Yep. Until you decide that you don't want my all.
Wow. Okay. So what were you gonna say, Brian? And then we got a comment that I want to read for us.
I'm sorry. Tracy, is that right? Beasley?
Yep, Bailey, I think it is.
I'm loving her right now. That was just the most meanest thing.
Go ahead, read it.
Not only working through past traumas is hard, but also when it comes from different backgrounds. Oh my gosh. Preach. Like my man and I. Hey, listen, Tracy, you and your man gonna make it. I promise you. As long as y'all both got the same focus on hand, that all y'all trying to do is excel and make sure that the next one is doing better than the last time. Keep that in heart. I don't give a fuck what everybody else is saying. Everybody got their opinion. Opinions is just like everybody has. Everybody has an asshole. They all the same way. They push out and they stink. No matter what time, place, or in place you doing it at, it's still gonna stink the same. Because nothing but shit comes out of an asshole. So let them motherfucking talk. But it's gonna always work out long as y'all always focusing on each other and making sure that the only goal is seeing that I make sure she makes it, and her goal is to make sure she sees me make it. On the end of the day, as long as that's the focus, that means if she's making sure I'm making it and I'm making sure she's making it, that means we're making it. That means that everybody around us that's dependent on us is gonna make it with us. Take us together. That's the whole point of putting yourself together. If you ain't trying to excel, you just sitting in the motherfucking dead space. Go ahead and lay down and put your motherfucking plot up. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly.
Right. What was the
my her dog is a very aggressive. She doesn't take him out much, so I had to jump up and open up the door so he didn't get none of my stuff.
That's okay. You know, I got a dog too, and she be acting a fool.
Hear her come through? You hear that dog in the background?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, her dog is angry. She doesn't take her dog like she's supposed to. So you hear this.
So what would you say to a person? Because you know, like a lot of people nowadays, they be like, "You need to come heal when you come deal with me. You need to come heal." And I feel like a lot of people don't even know what the hell heal mean. They don't even know if they heal. Why they talking about you need to come healed? Especially men. I feel like men don't come healed all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes we have, like, men have some emotional trauma and baggage that, you know, we haven't sorted through completely. It's being able to, you know, that's one of the things. Men and mental health is one of the big pushes nowadays. Like even in like some of the professional sports, basketball, football, and stuff like that, they're making it more known that, you know, men have feelings too, and men have issues that they need to kind of work through. So that's something that, you know, like myself, I've been through, you know, I've been in counseling, you know, I've seen psychiatrists and stuff like that and had, you know, anger issues that I had to sort through and deal with and kind of get to the core of why, you know, I was so, you know, angry at some point. So dealing with that stuff, being able to heal and move forward is important, and recognizing it at some point, you know, and it's not a bad thing. It's a stigma that's been put on us through society that men's supposed to be, you know, unbreakable or you know, so for us to show a little crack of, you know, weakness or emotion is like, it's frowned upon. Right.
I think that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of men struggle with when it comes to being like, I think that it's not okay for women to be like, I can do everything that a man can do, and I can, you know, we have this equal opportunity kind of thing, yet we look at a man like if he getting hit by a woman, it don't hurt him. Shit, if she hit me, it's gonna hurt. So if she hit him, it's probably gonna hurt him too. Now he might knock her ass out up under the dryer or whatever, but it still ain't gonna feel good.
Sorry,
I don't think he's going to. I know he ain't gonna hit no woman, but sure, I hit him for her. I hit him.
Yeah,
but yes, guys. Let's see here. Let's see what you drinking. I'm not drinking nothing, Mom. We just drinking. Yes, they drinking. They got.
We're drinking teleport.
No, man.
Yes, they got some teleport over there. Yes, so yes, yeah. Okay. So guys, it is 8:40. We already 10 minutes over because the conversation was so good. We gonna probably get together in real life and do this all over. We can talk about some other stuff.
Oh, like I was telling you, they have so many similarities. Made no sense. I told my husband, I was like, guess what his job is? He was like, what? I said, he's a chef. Guess what he watches all day long? Cooking shows.
All day. When I'm at work.
He cooks.
Guess what I do when I'm at work?
He cooks.
I'm a server.
Oh, that's good.
Are you just in the wrong profession? That's okay.
So I'm the one that come back there and be like, hey, you didn't cook that steak on the medium, dog. That was almost medium rare.
Oh, you ain't saying that to him, though. Yeah. You ain't saying that to him, dog. He like, that shit on point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking at you like,
Like medium rare.
Like,
Nah, bro. You try.
All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us this Thursday for Talk That Shit Live, as we talked about love with Tyrasjah and her hubby. And you know that's what his new name gonna be once she, like, you know, when she get big, it's gonna be Tyrasjah and her husband. They can be like, her husband. Look this way.
Hold on.
I was thinking that.
Identity. He want his own identity.
Listen, I was thinking that when I was writing, when I was making the flyers, I was like, he gonna end up being called her husband.
I'm not.
And
I'm sorry.
He gonna be mad.
No, I rebuke you in the name of no.
and I really would want to, like, we planned. Yeah, and we really planned on doing this too with like multiple couples. So if anybody out there that's, you know, want to do, we plan on maybe doing these a few more times and getting more couples on here so we can get different perspectives. How
about the end of the month, every month? Get it out and get it started. New month. You get
there you go. So
and we can get together and come up with different topics to do this, because we have to. This is for the lover in you. For everybody that's watching, this is for the lover in you. Y'all know everybody is, you know, don't love them hoes and all the rest of that. But love is real. Love can happen, but it first starts with yourself.
Talk about that.
And
I
I'm
don't
just
feel
saying
bad
like
because they're not in love. It's okay. People are still in love.
It ain't even so it ain't hot girl summer no more. What line y'all gonna come up with now? So bring your ass on in here. Learn how in a relationship, so we don't have to worry about being a hot girl summer in 2023 when you already
it was hot. Listen though, it was only a hot girl summer from 10 to 2. After 2 o'clock, it ain't hot girl summer no more. It's I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. I know I was single for a long time. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us for this Thursday Talk That Shit Live. If you want to see this or any other of the other Talk That Shit Live, you can go to YouTube at Talk That Shit Live. And you can also check us out on the podcast, which I am going to go ahead and drop that information for you. And don't forget to go to Tyrasjah on Facebook. Follow her. See what she got going on. She is doing so much right now, and she's actually documenting everything that she got going on. So you guys got to check her out. And if you're not, then I don't know why. Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Peace.